Hello everybody, and thanks for joining us today on the Oakland Car Review. We are now excited to be in partnership with the GT channel. We're here in beautiful Southern California and Malibu, and before us here we have this fun, sporty, and stylish Scion FR-S 10 Series vehicle. Now, as you can see, they've really stepped it up with this particular car from Scion. It's actually a Subaru Scion partnership when went into making this vehicle. We have these beautiful long curvy lines, beautiful headlamps, and we have a really nice deep front fascia with these nice styling points, nice curves, large front air intake, and of course LED fog lamps and HID headlamps, high intensity discharge headlamps, which are great for seeing around the dark curves at night. Now, as you can see, they've really just done an outstanding job with the entire design of the vehicle. They've really kept it to be a very sporty but yet affordable vehicle, and this with a starting price of only $24,000, you really just can't ask for too much more. Now, the rear of this vehicle is really one of my personal favorite parts. It just really ties the whole look together, in my opinion, and it's very rare where you actually get a rear of a vehicle to look as nice as the front does, and they really just have outdone themselves with the styling of the rear. Now, some of the key features that we have here are the rear brake lights. They have these really nice little LED round accenting lights here in the rear tail lamp, which really illuminates nicely at nighttime. We have the chrome tipped dual exhaust here, which again, just a nice feature. It really keeps that sporty look integrated together. And then around the side, this, my personal favorite styling point of the entire vehicle, are the 17-inch wheels. Now, they're two-toned color, and they just have such a nice smooth finish to them, and they just look really nice and tie it with this special Silver Series 10 edition paint color scheme together with the wheels, and it just makes it look very nice and sporty together. So now let's go on the interior and see what's happening in there. Now, each vehicle has its own distinct interior feel and look that they're trying to achieve, and they've really just done a good job projecting that sporty, fast, quick, but yet still cool design on the interior. We have this really nice red stitching on our steering wheel here, just a nice racing look, and then again the red stitching is continued on our shifter here. And it's not a regular shifter, it's sort of interesting. You kind of go out and move down through different, it's sort of like trying to portray some type of a, gear lock type shifting situation there. So you kind of move it over and down and then over again. So it's kind of interesting how they have that set up. And then coming down here, we have a couple different modes here. We have a sport mode, we have a snow mode, we have a VSC sport mode, which turns off some of the traction control and stability control features. Then we have our actually our traction control off button right there. So we have our different driving modes, which is nice right there. Then of course we just obviously have our climate control settings here. Fit and finish on the knobs is decent enough. But I really like the interior theme again. They've just done a nice job portraying that sporty feel. We have this interesting, feels pretty nice. It doesn't even feel cheap really. This nice plastic sort of carbon fiber look-alike here, which actually again has a nice feel to it. Dashboard's pretty soft for the most part. And again, we have this nice stitching and nice soft leather materials kind of all around us. Again, leather-wrapped steering wheel and all that sort of stuff there. But then moving to the center stack area here, some people have complained that the RPM gauge is almost too much front and center, and I happen to disagree with them, because in a car like this you want to see your tach. You want a big large tach right in front of you, and then they conveniently have a little LCD display right there that displays your speed, so there's really no issue there at all, and I happen to really like it. It's the feel that you want to get out of this car. It's a tuner car, so it's a canyon car, and that's really what we have here as far as that setup goes. Now, we have the optional bespoke audio system on this vehicle, and it sounds very nice, very crisp, very clear. Again, nice clear quality sound to it. So we have a Bluetooth streaming, we have navigation, just a pretty decent map system, nothing too fancy, but it gets the job done if you need to go. So we have the HD radio, which is really nice. Then of course we have our phone set up here. We can dial and such with that. And then we have our audio. We have again HD radio, we have AM, FM, we have the USB, and then as far as the whole system goes here, it's pretty easy to use for the most part. CD player, voice command, nothing overly complex, but you know, it gets the job done on what you need. So anyway, but what this car is really about is the driving. So now let's start it up here and go for a ride. Okay. Now again, like I was saying, this is a canyon car, so it's meant to be quick on its feet, but yet not overly you know, powerful. If you're looking for a vehicle to really, you know, put your foot down on it and, you know, feel the power and get thrusted back in the seat, then this is probably not the car for you. But if you're looking for an excellent rear-wheel drive, yes, again, rear-wheel drive in this vehicle, thank you, Scion. They did not put a front-wheel drive in this car, which is excellent. It's exactly what we want, rear-wheel drive, perfect for the handling. So anyway, but as I was saying, you know, this car, excellent handling, adequate amount of power, and just a great drive in the roads, in the curvy roads. So again, adequate amount of power, but nothing overly, shall we say, overly powerful. So this vehicle, though, it really has an ideal weight balance. As far as in the curves and the corners, everything's balanced so nicely, and you have a really low center of gravity, which again makes for a great driving experience in the roads that really have the curves and corners in them. So, you know, that's just really where this car takes off. Now, as far as, you know, the other driving dynamics go, we have a 6-speed automatic transmission. They also do offer a manual transmission. Now, one thing that I really do love about the automatic is that pop it into manual mode, and it has extremely responsive shift points here when we're using our paddle shifters and everything like that. It's really responsive, really unlike anything I've ever driven before. And then another excellent feature on this car is the downshift rev matching that this vehicle has, and that is just great. You pull up to a stoplight and you just rev down. It's great. And another thing that they've really just done a really good job with on this vehicle is the steering. We have a really nice tight steering capacity, great weight ratio, and we have a nice stiff steering which just connects perfectly with the sport tune suspension. Again, just in the curves, you just couldn't ask for anything more than this vehicle offers. It's just a perfect, again, weight balance in just between the entire weight of the car, and then what it just really offers is just that great rear-wheel drive driving experience. And then, you know, it does have some power, which is nice, but again, it's not going to thrust you in the back of your seat, but it's very adequate amount of power. And now, speaking of power, again, we have a 4-cylinder, 2-liter engine producing 200 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. Now, we get that maximum torque and horsepower right around anywhere from 6,500 RPMs to 7,000 RPMs. And now, something interesting about this vehicle is, you know, most engines and vehicles have it tuned out at around 6,500 RPMs is the red line. Not on this car. On this vehicle, right around 7,500 RPMs is our red line max. So that's something interesting that I find on this vehicle, is that, again, tuned it out at 7,500 instead of 6,500. So let's say you have a whole nother 1,000 range of RPMs before shifting gears. So that's nice. Now again, the rev matching on the downshift's great. Paddle shifts, I love that noise. And then, you know, just throw it in, and then bam, instant shift. It's perfect. Transmission, perfect. And again, this ideal weight balance, low center of gravity, rear wheel drive, canyon roads. This is what the car is made for, made to do. And efficiency is this car's middle name. We are actually getting about 34 to 35 miles to the gallon on the highway, about 24 to 26 in your average city conditions. Now, downtown LA, as you might imagine, is very traffic, lots of stop and go. We're getting about 22 down there, but again, that's sort of unusual city conditions. So anyway, but again, this great engine, great transmission. Thank you, Scion, for making a proper two-door coupe with rear-wheel drive. From the mountains of Malibu, California to the streets of Beverly Hills, overall, the 2014 Scion FR-S 10 is an excellent vehicle boasting many excellent qualities as far as affordability, handling, and quality. Thanks for watching this episode of the Oakland Car Review in partnership with the GT channel.